I've started drawing since I was young. I find art fun because it's a way to express myself. Art is something that has no restriction, no limitations. It's just a blank piece of paper and you can just draw.
What I enjoy doing in my spare time is basically arts and craft, but more on the crafting aspect. It's enjoyment because not only do you do something with your hands, you also trace your creativity. Once it's done, it also gives you a sense of accomplishment that, yes, I'm done. Architecture for me has been an interest since I was quite young. Every time I looked at buildings, it gives me a sense of awe. It's like, wow, what is this building? Why is it built this way? Hi, I'm Nicholas.
And I'm YEE ANN.
We're here at DP Architects
To learn more about architecture
and what an architect does.
Hello.
Okay, hello.
Hi Nicholas.
Yes, hello.
Hi Yan.
Hello. We've just finished our A Levels and we are really interested in what does an architect do.
To put it simply, well, what we do is we create buildings like this, beautiful buildings like this. So it's not really just about the form, it's also about the spaces for the people, for people to enjoy.
So what about science and versus arts kind of thing?
Is it more of a science or more of an art?
It's a combination of both science and art, law, doctor, because you must observe details, you must know what you're doing, you have a more scientific background, you have a more accounting background, you have a more artistic background. All this helps.
Can you be an architect without ever drawing anything?
No. But you need to think out of the box. You need to be a designer, you need to be a creative, you need to create something that is innovative. To know how to draw is a prerequisite. You have to translate your ideas in your mind into something that is tangible, the hard copy. You draw it out, sketch out your ideas so that potential clients or even your team members or fellow friends can understand your ideas and suggestions. And to dispel this thinking that architects is just about drawings, it's not. It's really about everything. When I was a young kid, I'm always amazed by how tower cranes, gets enveloped slowly, floor by floor. And at the end of the day, the tower cranes disappear. And what happens is a building. So definitely there's something very magical about this. It's definitely not a 9-to-5 job. I'll get so bored if it's a 9-to-5 job. It's not a desk-bound job. I will have to meet clients. I have to sit in meetings. I have to have discussions with my team members. Get to go to the site, to instruct the contractor or to check on site whether the contractors are doing as per what you draw. We work very, very closely with other consultants. We will debate and we will question each other what's the most efficient way of construction with a limited time, and we have to present to the client as a whole consultant team, So we'll tell the client that we are very confident this building can be built within this budget.
Instead of being assembly line process where architects are just one part of the process. From what I learned in Samson, it's everybody works together. So it's like the architects work with the project managers, they work to create the structural engineers, to the interior designers, to the lighting experts, to make everything look good, up to the expectations of the client.
So all this will be put into a whole coordinated attempt to create something beautiful at the end of the day. So at the end of the day, we want to see something that we are proud of, that we can contribute back to the society and for the whole population.
Most students in architecture from my church, some of them feel that it's very stressful and really tiring and you don't sleep, something like that.
Is it really
like that?
I strongly believe in any line of work. It will be stressful if you make it stressful. If you enjoy your work and live life every day as if it's a challenge, it's a breeze in a way. That you just enjoy it. It's a passion that keeps driving you on day and day.
Every time I saw a building, I would be, if it's interesting to me, it would be, what's its culture? What was it that led to it? So it's that being in architecture would give me a chance to actually be the person behind it. So instead of wondering what the history is, you'll be the person making the history.
Bear in mind, architecture is not just about the form of a building, you know. You must have the top priority to create spaces for the people. One of the projects I will show you is St. Andrew's Cathedral, where we start off from this priority. What we are standing on is St. Andrew's Cathedral ground. This is an existing monument, so we must respect the monument. This is the new insertion. So what we did is to have a linkway, a visitor center, and the worship hall underground. You can see the extension is very transparent, okay, because we want the public from the outside, you can see through the grounds and onto the existing monument. The positioning of the different building blocks, they are all designed with a certain purpose. So we actually created this chapel for the office workers or for anybody, you know, who just want a space to meditate. It is this kind of space that I was telling you about earlier, you know. You have to create space for people to enjoy, to engage with, to relax in. It's not just form of the building.
I feel that the job is a very meaningful job. Architecture is meant for the people and is designing a place, a space to allow people to stay in, and the building must fit into the environment so that it will meet the purposes of the people living there.
This is the entrance to the worship hall. So if you stand here, you can see this skylight here. That we purposely inserted this skylight in line with the access to the transept of the existing cathedral. After you enter the worship hall and illuminated by this skylight, what you see is this vast expanse of space. The whole space is actually excavated from the existing ground last time.
The skylights makes it feel like it's not a subterranean building. Even though it's so deep underground, it's obvious that everything can be seen. There's no lighting problems.
Yeah, I'm very glad you feel that way.
It's most definitely not just art. Because he has to deal with lighting, he has to deal with sound. These things do not really fall into the category of art. It falls more into science. For example, the St. Andrew's Cathedral, in their worship hall, how do you form the ceiling such that it absorbs sound, it bounces sound, it makes for a good amphitheater? The function of building, of course, is also very important. Is it useful as a space? Is everything utilized properly to what you intend it to be?
So you can see from this project, the St. Andrew's Cathedral extension, it's about this marriage between the new and the old. So I moved on to the next project. That building is actually another realization of my dreams. You know.